So how's it going, Torrance?
Good.
Good.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Appreciate y'all from coming early in the morning. This is how we get this creative, energy out. Wake up early in the morning and ready to work. Please introduce yourself.
So I'm Torrance Conaway.
I'm Trinine Davis.
I'm Liberty Glass.
I'm Colin Osborne.
I'm Carrie Lenny Francisco.
And this is the cast from the film Dominic, correct?
Yep, short film, Dominic.
Tell us a little bit about this film and what inspired you to basically write this film.
So one day I was literally just sitting on my couch and I said, you know what, I want to produce a creative project. For people who know me, they know that I've always been trying to do something creative. It's about a character named Dominic. It kind of just outlines his life as relates to domestic violence. And, part of it was the individuals that I connected with, as far as the groups that I facilitated. I noticed that they had different perspectives on domestic violence. So I felt creating a film would help me kind of dive into those perspectives and show that domestic violence isn't always physical.
Yes.
Together with the cast and the crew, we came together, we created this short film that we're excited to premiere on October 5th. And there's different elements of domestic violence. The film is actually in 8 parts if you actually chop it up. But I use this is a wheel called Power Control Wheel that a lot of domestic violence organizations use for their curriculum. And basically it outlines different forms of domestic violence like intimidation, blaming, male privilege. There's also using others, and emotional abuse, economic abuse. So what we did was we pulled those pieces out for this character and put it on the screen. And the unique thing about this particular project is with the main character Dominic, he's actually the perpetrator and the victim. Okay. So there are certain scenes where he may be the abuser in that case, but by I guess with, for example, his mother, he's the victim in that scene, and then with his baby mom, I guess you could say, he's very similar, and then with his wife, he's the abuser. Gotcha. So we look at domestic violence in different perspectives from the character.
I like that. As soon as I watched it like 3 times,
Oh, did you?
Because not only knowing you, but when I seen it, I get a lot of things sent to me, but when I seen it, I looked at it and immediately it looked at well put together. The quality was right, the acting was wonderful, and the scenes, how they, transitioned over it and everything was just perfect. So for someone who put together their first film, like you kind of knew what you was doing,
Yeah,
so that's awesome. Speaking to the cast, I want to know what roles that each of you played, and how do you feel like about that role?
Well, I played the mother, so I was the abuser to my son. I liked the role. Yeah, because it gave a different perspective of the little things that you say that manifest in a child as they grow up, and how it makes them feel, and in return have them act out, in their life. And it shows in this film and how he treated his wife, and he also had a side chick. So.
Your name again?
Liberty.
Liberty, brings me to you. So.
Thank you. So I played the wife. So he was abusive towards me. You see a lot of the verbal abuse, the way he talks to me, that control, and basically I have to deal with that domestic violence part of in the home, with the husband being violent towards you, the cheating. He was a victim, and then now he victimizes me. So it's this whole circle that I think is that really drew me to the film, because I can relate and connect with it and show people there's when it comes to domestic violence, there's no right or wrong, or these narcissists or these guys who do these things. There's different. They kind of tend to act a certain way, but people's stories are individual, and so getting it out there actually helps people to see all the variety of all these behaviors.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that maybe this is a teaching tool so that other people that are in our situation or in a situation like that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like the film, can probably recognize it.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and then they see that people really go through this, and
Really
so,
go through it.
you know, the other thing that I want to show that I bring to the film is this first of all, it's not my first film, but what brought me back into the arts and film was a big something very traumatic that happened to me, and it changed my life around. So I want to show women, men and women,
Yeah.
because you have to be realistic. Men and women also, you know, all together do go through domestic violence.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
see it
yeah.
more with women, it's a higher number, but it does happen to men. And there's like you know, you mentioned that there's different forms. So
Yes.
it may not just be physical, it could be mental. You know, there's so much,
so much,
that,
yeah.
that it entails. So hearing, you know, me being able to relate to the film, and then me also being a survivor, I think I bring a lot of richness to the film, because I can actually relate. And someone may say, "Oh, that's not an appropriate, you know, gesture or something." And it's, yeah, it is, you know,
Yeah.
because this is what happens.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
the real thing. I'm
Reality.
showing you the real face, and to let women out there, again, men and women, everybody, but of course women, because I'm a woman. Basically, that there is a way out,
Yes,
and you can seek help.
Yes.
And not everybody's the same, and to show I was able to go through something, and here I am, and
Yeah.
I turned it around and used it for my own self, you know, growing and in the business. And so, yeah, I plan to continue.
Well, I think it's great, because I think domestic violence is it's almost something like mental health, where a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but it's like real serious.
Yeah.
You know, I think everyone been involved in some type of domestic violence, you know, and even myself. And then you come out of it and you learn from it, and it kind of makes you a better person, whether you're a female or a male. You know, one thing I wanted to I'm gonna ask you about domestic violence, right? For the woman or men that's involved in domestic violence, sometimes it can be a real long period before they figure it out of should I stay, should I leave? Sometimes it can cause their life, you know, anything, you know, locked up. What is it? What does it take for a person to really realize, like, you know, enough is enough and I have to get out? Because I know a lot of it could be fear, a lot of it could be love, but you never really know. What do you think from your experience it takes for a person to say it's time to go?
It's wow, that's a hard one. But it shouldn't be that hard. The thing is, when emotions get in the way, when you do love someone or when you fear someone, also you've got to look at not just what other people are doing, but you have to kind of focus on yourself. Why do I keep on falling into these type of relationships, or why did it happen to me, period? So it's a lot. It's not just one little
Yeah.
piece. That's why I can tell you my point of view, what I went through, what I experienced, what made me grow. Because I was always in the arts, you know. I did ballet till I was 15 years old. I was always on a stage doing that, not doing the filming, but I did study all that. Yeah, you know, put myself through modeling school at 14. So I've been working on all this. Played
Yeah,
violin, you know, till I was 12. Don't ask me now. I don't think I can hold them now. But anyways, you know, I was always in that. So I guess as a kid, somehow I knew that was therapeutic. That helped me to kind of focus on something else and clear your mind. Kind of like a yoga, you know.
Yeah,
You basically have to clear your mind. Well, that helped me clear my mind.
Gotcha.
And so the way that it helped me, I thought that can help other people by bringing it to the public and saying, hey, I'm not just acting here. I'm for real. I'm a real person. This happened to me, and there is a way out. Or you can also start acting, start singing,
Yeah,
playing an
yeah.
instrument, do something creative, and it will pull you out of it. But the best thing is, you know, therapy. Therapy, a counselor will guide you in that right direction depending on what your circumstance is.
Yeah.
But it's hard to get out of it because sometimes these guys know, or these individuals know how to, you know, manipulate the
Manipulate,
narcissist. And when you realize what's going on, it's like you're probably too deep into it, and in maybe some type of danger.
Yes,
So
yes.
counseling is the best
Yeah.
thing. You know, seek help.
Wonderful answer. Wonderful answer.
I'm actually not an actor in this project. I'm more of the casting director, so I assisted Torrance with the casting.
Nice.
And with the music of the production of the movie.
Okay, so touch on that experience. You know.
It was a very it was a fun experience. It was well, I don't know if it was interesting, but it was definitely fun. It was really good to see. It was a lot of fun to see people, you know, who were really interested in this project. The topic really touched everyone who was involved, and everyone that came and auditioned was really invested. You know, immediately when they heard about it, when they read the sides, and everyone seemed to be immediately invested in this project.
Yes.
So that was really wonderful to see. You know, the enthusiasm and the instant dedication. You know? I remember I think we did the auditions in December, the day of the snow. I think we had a snowstorm that day, right? Yep. And it sure was. I remember because our actress right here, she came all the way from Providence, Rhode Island.
I don't know how I made it back.
I remember we were serving. But that shows you the seriousness of the actors and actresses that are part of this production. Someone who's going to drive 60, 70 miles in a snowstorm. And on time.
Yeah.
You know? So,
no, that's wonderful.
But it was really beautiful to see Torrance's words come to life. You know, it was really beautiful to see the emotional connection. It was beautiful to see the seriousness. And again, every character, every storyline connected with everyone in some strange way. Even us, as the people who were auditioning, we were just like, wow, you know. And so then when it was time to film, that came out even more, you know. And so I was excited to be on the back end, to see the whole production formulate.
That's what's up.
And the messages and the storylines, I really believe is really going to touch people who watch this, that will see this film.
Very powerful.
Colin's actually the first person that I reached out to once I finished the script. I said, Colin, I have the script. What should I do? He basically told me, like, you know, connect with the library, you know, get a room so that way we can do auditions. So he was definitely a big part of the development of the project.
Nice.
And the day of that snowstorm, when everyone came, we said, okay, listen, we have to get these people parts. You know, even though everyone did a great job. Again, the dedication in the snow, like we kind of contemplated canceling it that day, so we were like, you know, let's just kind of go with it, and it worked out well.
That's awesome. I think dedication with anything, when you can get more than two people, right, to be on the same page, that shows a lot, because it's just like sometimes it's hard to get people together and then dedicate it, you know. Everybody has things to do in life, we understand that, but when something needs to get done and it takes everybody to basically sacrifice, you know, I'm gonna sacrifice my time, I'm gonna sacrifice doing this to make this happen, I think that shows a lot of, that's very important. That's very important.
Also with his creative vision, getting people that has the same vision as him and see it in the same light.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And we are missing a few people, so Justice Conaway, who's my little cousin. She was the co-producer who did awesome. Maurice Clark, who plays Dominic, he couldn't make it today.
Wendy.
So Wendy could not make it. Wendy was a stepmom.
Okay.
Chelsea, who was the girlfriend, and am I missing anyone else?
Do you want to Ashley or no?
Oh yeah, so Ashley. So Ashley was actually a character who had no lines, but she actually opened the film, and Ashley Trusty. So she actually helped us out a lot. She stayed literally the whole time, so it was like a family event that day, and you know, we were in my friend's apartment for most of the day, and then my mother-in-law's house for the remainder of the day. But it was a good help as far as everyone just chipping in and being there. So not only did the actors do their parts, but they helped out in so many ways.
So I was the ex-girlfriend and I was the baby mama.
Okay.
I was the abusive one to Dominic. So I was very abusive to Dominic, and then all the abuses the abuse that Dominic got from me, he did it to the wife. Everything I did to him, he did it to the wife. And when I read the script on Dominic, I love the concept because that's what we live in today's society.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't even know we're going through domestic violence. Now that we did this film, I learned that I even been in domestic violence myself, but I didn't know. Because it's like if you're abusive to someone's not gonna be abusive to you. Someone's gonna be abusive to the next person, and that's how Dominic was.
Yes.
He wasn't abusive to me, but he was abusive to her and the girlfriend.
That's deep. It's real deep what you just said. If anybody really understands it, because it's almost like the law of the universe, the cause and effect that a lot of people talk about, like the butterfly effect.
Yes.
Like they talked about, a butterfly stirring in the air today can cause a storm, years down the road in another state, because the energy that's put out. So basically, it wasn't put back to you, but you hurt someone else, and that someone else hurt someone else, and it kept it affected. And now that karma could come back to you. You just never know how, what form, when.
Right.
So
And then
it's deep.
I could get that karma come back to me, and then me being nice to that person. Because I
So-
think that's how every abusive person, that's how it goes. If you abuse it to someone, then that person not abusive to you.
Yeah.
But then you'll get it.
You'll
but
get
then
it.
you're not gonna be abusive to that person because that person is abusive to you. And that's how life goes
It's
on.
deep.
But you don't know that. Sometimes you don't even know you are in an abusive relationship.
No, you're definitely right. What I find real interested though in this whole thing is because you could have put this film together, right? And you could have had one topic. It could have been like a domestic violence with just the wife, But how you took all these different categories and you show people, like in this one film, like, you got the mom, you got the girlfriend, you got the wife, you got I think that's so creative. Like, what made you put that together in that form? Because you had to have some thought to say, I want to touch every category, not just wife and a husband.
Yeah, I mean, so when I wrote it, I just thought about like real life, regular, everyday people, and like I use a friend's analogy. Like we have friends who we may tell certain things to. Like you have one friend that you may tell them this, but you don't tell them everything. But you may tell the next friend this.
Yeah.
So you kind of create your own friend. And in relationships, I feel like sometimes people kind of create like different types of relationships. So with the Dominic character, I wanted to not just show like this person who's like this angry guy and he's just gonna, be upset with his wife and his girlfriend, but this guy's also being abused too. So not to play favors in the sense of this wasn't a film like to say, okay, we wanna, just be mindful of the perpetrator. It's more so this is like just real life. This is a scripted, of course it's scripted, but it's like real life concept as far as how a person could literally have domestic violence or do domestic violence to someone, but also to begin it on the back end.
Gotcha.
So I kind of looked at it from that perspective, because usually when you have people who are being abused by or are abusing someone, they may be getting abused in some other way. And again, as Carrie said, some people may not know they're in a domestic violence situation because again it ranges. Like even one piece that I put in that I kind of contemplated doing is economic abuse, where with the girlfriend Chelsea, he's using her credit card and he's like taking advantage of her money, so in that particular scene, people don't always relate that to domestic violence abuse. Like they just see that, as someone's taking my money. That's a relationship that you probably should not want to be in if someone's taking control of your money in that way and kind of telling you what you can and cannot spend. And what I try to stay away from is the physical aspect of domestic violence, because we know that we all think domestic violence, someone's beating on someone. In the film, there's a little bit of like insinuation of that, but there is there is none of that.
Got you.
Like, and like the way we take it is more from a whole.
insinuated.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely
Right.
is different perspectives. It's like a whole other perspective of domestic violence,
Yes,
and
yeah.
everyone, like even the way the mom is, and you know, all the characters, like we all portray that in some form.
So touch on the premiere. The premiere is going on when?
So the premiere is October 5th, 2018, obviously, and October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we're fortunate to have it in the month of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but it's at Opportunities Industrialization Center of New Britain, which is on 114 North Street. It's from 5 to 7. So it's gonna be like a kind of like a happy hour for like the first hour, and we'll show the film. And then once we show the film, we're gonna have a Q&A for with the cast. So the goal of this is more so to kind of get people out, get people talking to some of the cast. We invited a couple domestic violence organizations in the area.
Nice.
Anyone's invited to come. We wanted people to, you know, have the discussion of domestic violence, really. And again, once you see the film, there's a lot more to discuss, because people hopefully will have questions about you know, that particular character, because the goal is I wanted people to see themselves in those characters, even though it's a short film. I think the way the actors did a great job portraying that character in that short amount of time, which is really a hard thing to do, to kind of bring the whole energy to, you know, this character in this short amount of time. But I think everyone executed that, and we'll let the audience.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I think that's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. So what does the future hold for your writing and, you know, films in the future? Like, is there anything?
Wow.
There we go. So
What does it hold?
So we plan on working together, for sure. The entire cast. So we have a few things in mind that we want to do to piggyback off this. But for me, just having wrote it, produced it, directed it. Again, this is my first time doing this, and you know. There was pieces in it that I liked, and there's pieces that I did not like. I was like, okay, I don't think I like this part of it. But that's all comes with experience. And so there's a couple projects that I wrote that I'll be pulling people in on. We're working together as a team, also as a writing team too, because we're gonna you know, do a couple things together. But the ultimate goal is really to continue to create content that you know, drives you know, people to kind of see themselves in material that's relatable and understandable, and something that motivates people, but also at the same time allows them to, you know, make change if they see themselves in that particular character. Because even as I was writing it, I was thinking about you know, all the people that I've met in my lifetime, and how this film could, you know, help inspire them or inspire someone they know to at least see themselves, and hopefully make a change.
That's what's up. That's wonderful. I would definitely want to get some words of encouragement, advice, to inspire people out there, not just people involved in domestic violence, but there may be some youth watching or anybody that want to pursue something in life. What type of words would each and every one of you, you know, give them, starting with you?
So I've always wanted to be a film producer since I could remember, and I never knew anyone who produced a film, or who you know, anyone from Hollywood or anything like that. So I would say, when people say you got to go out and do it, that's true. You just have to go and just do it. And people think about the resources, and I don't have all the resources or the connections. Just the way technology is, you can do anything, and don't be so worried about perfection in the sense of like, this has to be the perfect project. I think if you just give 100% and your effort, all that will come, you know, come to life. So I would say definitely pursue your dreams, but don't get too caught up in it being perfect. Just give your best effort, and just say to yourself, is this the best effort with the resources that I have? Is this the best that I can do? And if the answer is yes, just keep pushing, and you know, the next project is gonna be better than the next. But just don't be so stifled where you overthink it so much that you don't do anything. And that was partly for me. Like, I overthought just, you know, film in general, and then I never did anything. So now I'm at a point to say, okay, you know, this is what I want to do. I give myself a date and say, listen, on this date, I'm going to have this done.
Yeah.
So you have to just literally do it. Don't worry about, do I have the perfect mic or the perfect camera or the perfect team or whatever the case is. Just say, is it the best that I can get? And if the answer is yes, just do it.
Just everybody, and for you, knowing that they can start their mindset off with being I am, not that I can, but I am. You know, knowing that they have that self-worth, that they can believe in themselves to do anything. I think youth and everybody is the author of their own book. What they go through in life, their experiences, their ups, their downs, their challenges, their struggles, their joys. Their pains could be their greatest masterpiece. It's up to them to want to tell the story, and they have it in them.
For me, I would say don't give up. And I think that me being able to speak up, it's like, you know, sometimes people say, hey, how would you know? You've never been there. You don't know what it feels like to. Well, yeah, I do. So don't give up. And if you have a dream, you have a goal, you know, hey, I had my kids and, you know, went through everything and I didn't give up. And rather than just giving up and just letting myself just go, I grew. I changed my life around. I took control. It takes a lot of dedication, and it's very, very hard and painful. And I did it on my own, but I don't advise that like that because it was very hard. It's very easy to really sink back into, you know, a hole. So you have to don't give up and be strong. And if you have a dream, I had this dream, this vision, and I said, you know what, I'm going for it. And I just went for it. You know, I didn't care about, you know, who said what. Well, I don't know. Maybe you're a little overweight. Maybe your voice isn't like that. Maybe your hair don't look right. Maybe your body don't. You know what? This is the real person. You know, it's not a Barbie doll. This is a real person. And I'm just like other real people out there that it happens to, and I want to show people that it's real. We're not making this up. And you know, don't give up. If you have a dream, go for it. And I hope that and coming out of that and showing people and men and women that you could still go for your dream, don't give up. I think that I'll inspire. You know, I want to help inspire other people. You know, maybe there's other actors, directors, you know, singers, writers, producers, people who are in that little fog, and it's like, don't give up, you know?
Keep pushing,
and it'll work out. It's a lot of work though, it's a lot of dedication.
Definitely.
Start from the bottom, you know?
I would say to the young people, if you're, I think that one of the messages that I always want to share with young people is that if you're living, that means your life is worth something. You know, there is definitely purpose to your life, and there's a reason why you're living. And to kind of piggyback off of everyone who's talking about dreams, one of the things that I always say is, if you dream it, that means you're supposed to be it. So if you're dreaming to be a ballerina, if you want to be a wrestler, if you want to dreaming, you know, to be, you know, whatever. If you're dreaming it, that means whatever you're dreaming is, that's exactly what you're supposed to be. So go for it, but be careful who you share your dreams with. You have to kind of protect your dream. But just be very careful. And if there's anyone in your life or in your circumference who doesn't parallel to your dream or with your dream, I mean, they just don't need to be there in your life, and it's okay. That's okay. That actually might be a blessing in disguise.
For me, I always wanted it to be an actress since I was like 10, and I did theater in middle school, high school, and the reason why I didn't try no more is because I had kids at a young age, and what I wanted to say to the teenagers out there, that do what you like, dream, go for your dreams, and anything that you want to be, you could be. You have to put your mind into it. Dream big, but you have to work hard, because if you don't work hard, you're not going to get what you want to be. I'm 35, and I wanted to be an actress when I was 10,
Yes.
and this is my first film.
Nice.
And so it's never too late to go for what you want. It's never too late, and it make you happy. And doing this film make me so happy. I felt like this is what I always wanted.
Yes.
And I got up early. I live an hour away, an hour and a half away from here, and nothing could go in the way. So work hard and do what you like, because you're not gonna be happy doing what you don't like. To do in life what makes you happy.
What makes you happy?
Because if you're doing a job that pays a lot,
Yeah.
but you don't like it, you're not gonna be good at it because you don't like it.
Yeah.
So go for what you like.
Wonderful.
I just want to thank the cast and the crew for hanging in there and doing all the excellent work that you guys do. I definitely appreciate their dedication, their hard work, and for coming out to these events and all the events, all the meetings that we have together. It really shows dedication from a genuine place, and I really appreciate that.
No, that's what, and I
Thank you.
definitely, yeah.
Thank you.
And for y'all too, just hearing all the different words of encouragement and advice to people, I probably would give y'all like the same. I wish y'all the best. I see that the future holds a great, I see a great vision, in the future for what y'all doing. If y'all stick to the same advice that y'all giving everyone else, don't quit, don't give up, because next year we all can be somewhere different than the following year, and the following year, and the next thing you know, we all own our own film and production company, and we're right here in Connecticut making it happen. So y'all inspire me. No, seriously, I've been through a lot. I've worked hard to where I'm at now, but there's different pieces to the puzzle.
Right.
That anyone can get inspired from. And me knowing him and this being his first film, it inspires me a lot. So keep it going. Don't get. I got to give you this advice because I could imagine just people who do know you and probably don't agree with what you're doing, how you're doing it. Why is he doing this? He used to do that. Like, I don't know, but I just know that that's what people do.
Yeah.
So, because they do it to me, So I would tell you, keep going. You feel me? Keep going, keep doing what you love to do, and great things are gonna come from it.
And same too. I mean, I would say this also the same thing. Like, the thing is, we're multifaceted people. I mean, we do things that connect us to the world. So if we one day, want to be an actor, and the next day we want to direct the film or produce the film, and there's nothing wrong with that. As long as that is what makes us happy. That's part of our plan, part of our dreams, and we just got to go for that.
Nice.
And like you said, your experiences and the things that you've been through, you're an author, you wrote your story. Look at your masterpiece, Manifesting.
Manifesting, yep. And it continues, So we all have a story to tell, and I think we all inspire someone in the world. And even if it's one person, like everyone says, people don't understand how big that is, but it's big. It's big. It's real big. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you for having us.
I
Thank you for having us here.
I can't wait to
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.